Hey everybody, I'm Connor, that's Doug, and welcome to the longest running school district podcast in the entire southwestern Puget Sound region. It's a fantastic show. We've got an excellent show today. Joining us in studio is Bethel Virtual Academy math teacher Megan Buchanan. So first, welcome, Megan. And if you've listened to the show, which I'm sure you do religiously, you know we start out this season especially with a bit of useless trivia. And I asked you to come up with a bit. So the floor is yours. Useless trivia.
So we went to the Woodland Park Zoo on Saturday with my kids, and we got a really good piece of trivia. How many quills does a porcupine have?
All right, Doug, what do you think?
Well, I didn't think it was a set number, so I would have assumed they would vary from porcupine to porcupine. I have seen a porcupine one time in the wild, and it was very freaky, and it looked like he had about 150 quills.
Should we do Price is Right rules?
Absolutely.
Well, so I'm gonna go real high here. I'm gonna say 1,500.
We're both very off.
Oh, we're both interesting.
You were both under.
Oh,
Massively.
What? Okay, how many quills does a porcupine have if a porcupine can't have quills?
30,000.
wow!
All at the same time? Oh,
That's
my
what the zookeeper said,
gosh.
and she knows more about porcupines than I do.
That is a very credible source, and we will allow it. 30,000.
Well, that's unexpected.
That very much so is useless.
I'm
though.
glad I can
That's what
have
we're going
shock
for.
on both of your
Yeah, I
faces.
know we're speechless, which is great for podcasting.
Well, Connor, I'm going to go next since I see you scrambling on your phone, deleting your porcupine trivia that you had
I was gonna say that was my trivia as well, but my answer was like 4, so I.
with a question mark.
Yeah.
Well, mine is the slogan, and I'm hoping you both heard of it. It's "Don't Mess with Texas." It's been around for a long time. That actually started as an anti-litter campaign back in 1985, believe it or not. Texas had a bit of a litter problem, and they were trying to come up with a way to encourage people to stop throwing stuff on the side of the road, and they went with this, we're going to take pride in Texas thing, and it really stuck. And in fact, Stevie Ray Vaughan in 1986 was their first star in their commercial, which I thought was pretty cool. So.
Well, so in one way, great marketing because that is stuck. But in the other way, I don't think a single person in the world knows that has anything to do with littering. So not so great marketing.
Well, maybe they've solved the problem, and now it's just a pride in Texas thing.
Texas has no
I don't
littering,
know.
I'm sure.
My source is don'tmesswithtexas.org. So I feel that's straight
from the horse's
source.
mouth. So.
Connor, what is your piece of useless trivia?
So I have an animal-related one as well. Mine is veering towards the grotesque.
Oh, geez.
So just, if you have any small children, that was a good time to take them out of the room. So mine is, did you know that a chicken once lived for 18 months without a head? Yes, it's true. Mike the Headless Chicken, as he became affectionately known,
Of course.
lived for a year and a half after a farmer attempted to behead him in 1945. The survival was due to a crucial portion of Mike's brainstem and jugular vein remaining intact. He was fed with an eyedropper and became a national sensation, even earning a Guinness World Record for his unique survival skills.
So, Megan.
That's a nice segue right there.
Connor, back to you. What's your source on this terrible piece of useless trivia?
BBC.
But, all right, we'll take it. Megan Buchanan, you are a teacher at Bethel Virtual Academy. Before we get into what that is and what you do now, where are you from and how did you get into teaching?
So I was actually born and raised in Puyallup, and I attended the Puyallup School District and went to Central Washington University.
All
Go
right,
Cats.
go Cats.
So I became a teacher because I loved tutoring, I loved working with other people, and really seeing that light bulb pop up in their head. And Central had a really cool setup for math teachers where we had the alternative program. So these were kids who really struggled in a traditional classroom. And so to give the math teacher candidates practice, they would bring the kids to Central and we taught them. So I've been teaching in a classroom with students since 2012.
Fantastic. Well, we're glad to have you.
You're at BVA, as we mentioned. There are a lot of options for online school nowadays, locally and across the country. What is it that makes BVA special?
So BVA is actually fully in the Bethel School District. So when I was in high school, I was a student athlete. I did sports. And so at BVA, you can be an online student and still do those sports. You can go and do music, choir. So all of those classes are still available to our students, as well as the online option. And it actually goes back and forth. So we have students who come to us for a math class or an English class, because that is a subject they can't learn well in a traditional classroom. So they come to us where they have more individualized instructions, basically because we're more one-on-one instead of a big group. So we have kids who are full-time with us, we have kids who are part-time with us, and it kind of just really sets them up for success with any of our secondary schools. A couple other things we do is like we have virtual clubs. So we have a D&D club. So we have kids who come on with a dungeon master and they get to play Dungeons and Dragons. We have a Skills USA club where we do a lot of guest speakers and leadership building.
And you also, so you've had a lot of time in the classroom and now you've had quite a bit of time working at a virtual academy. What are some of the challenges and benefits of working online like you're doing now?
Definitely one of my pros is the challenging students. When I started teaching, I love the tough kids. I love the kids who pushed back, who not necessarily were like 100% like defiant, but they made you challenge yourself as a teacher. And that's kind of what BVA was built for, because it's not built for a traditional like structure. It is very, as I've said before, like very flexible. So having those challenging students, and we are not a one-size-all-fits education anymore. And so BVA brings those opportunities in for students to be able to have the ability to adapt their education to their learning.
For a student, what type of student excels at BVA?
Would it be cheesy if I said every type of student?
Not at all. Not if it's true.
It's students who either are very self-motivated and can learn on their own. So like if you picture back when you were in middle school or high school and you're thinking, I know this, I just need to get through the material, I don't want to come to class every day. That's what we provide. All of the content's available so students can work as fast as they want to or as slow as they want to. Or if you're thinking about the course where you need that individualized instruction, I need to be able to sit down with my math teacher or my science teacher and work one-on-one with them. You can do that too. We encourage students to have some sort of school space at their home. That way they're able to really focus on school and not be distracted by other things. But also the kids who need flexibility in their life, right? We have a lot of students who help out their families with jobs or with taking care of siblings. During the pandemic, I did have a student who we figured out she helped her elementary siblings with their schooling until mom and dad got home. And then she was only able to work on her schooling in the evening times. As her advisory teacher, I would meet with her in the evenings and be like, okay, what schooling do you need to get done today? All of those types of things to make sure that she did graduate.
Well, that was a great success story right there. Anything else jump into your head about other stories where someone maybe started and they weren't as strong in school, and because of BVA, you and your colleagues were able to help them overcome that?
So like every school, we have advisory. The difference at ours is we start with sixth grade and we keep those kids until they graduate high school. So my eighth graders right now, I had when they were 12 and they were starting their middle school. So I got to be there for the transition to them going into middle school, and I will get to be the transition person for them next year when they are in high school. So they have that single support person, and I'm building the relationship like with these families and with these students. I have all of the cameras on. If you think back in pandemic, Zoom, everyone had the little black boxes with their names. I now have cameras on. Kids are talking to each other. We are team now. So we call ourselves a team, a community to really build into that. We do all of the comprehensive advisory stuff, but we also add technology boot camp. We add a digital wellness section. So we have kids like, you're now on a screen for about 5 hours a day. Stop and reflect. What can you do to help remove your screen time? How can you make sure that you are taking care of yourself and still getting your education?
Well, I love that. I love the advisory program. I love what you guys are doing there at Bethel Virtual Academy, helping students in so many different ways. Megan Buchanan, thanks so much for joining us today. Well, Connor, we wanted to take a little bit of time at the end of the show here to talk about our 2 local school district levies. Our Educational Programs and Operations levy and our Technology Capital levy are both going to be up for renewal next year. That's in 2026, pending school board approval, of course. And you have been traveling the globe, well, at least traveling Bethel, all 202 square miles of it, interviewing folks about how the levy impacts them and their jobs.
I have indeed, and it's amazing how many areas this levy actually touches within our district and how many areas it helps our students. This week, I got a chance to go to Spanaway Lake High School and chat with school counselor Kelsey Nugent. Here's what she had to say.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Nugent, and I'm a school counselor at Spanaway Lake High School, and I'd like to thank the voters for continuously supporting our district's levies. Our levies make up 11% of our district budget, and that's really important to the work that we're doing here at the schools. As a school counselor, I have the opportunity to meet with all of my students at the high school level, all of the students on my caseload, to really work and support them in their social emotional growth, in their academic growth, and in their future planning for college and career. And what comes after high school. As a school counselor, I get the chance to meet with students one-on-one in small groups and large groups, classroom settings, as well as giving school-wide presentations to help students learn more about what their future options are outside of high school, as well as to help make sure that what they're doing in high school aligns and prepares them better to reach that goal for themselves. We also work to support students as they are working on their study skills and as they are working on their building up and making sure they're being successful in their classes. And then we also get to help support students as they are navigating the challenges of growing and developing high school. Through high school, we really want to make sure that when they're graduating, that they're prepared for the real world, they're ready to go in whatever pathway they're choosing, whether that's the military or going straight into the workforce or going to college or a trade school. So we're working to make sure that they've got the skill sets, both academically as well as socially, to be successful in any of those areas that they choose for themselves.
Really great to hear from Kelsey. I'm so thankful for our counselors and social workers out there working hard, removing barriers from education for our students so they can focus on learning in the classroom. Of course, we're going to have more information about our levies, and you can find all of that at bethelsd.org/levy.
Well, thank you, Megan Buchanan from the Bethel Virtual Academy. Thank you also to Kelsey Nugent from Spanaway Lake High School. We will be back next week with another brand new episode.